Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central, and here's your host, Bob Hickey.
Hello, and welcome to another great episode of Foxborough Central. That's right, I'm your host, Bob Hickey. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to share your day with me and my guests as we enjoy some of the people that make Foxborough special. And I got to tell you, this is a bittersweet program. This is a program that's going to be a swan song, a farewell, if you will. My guest today is Michael Bave. Michael.
Nice to see you.
Great to see you, Mike. I'm so glad you decided to come back to town and give us a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be missing. I know that you have a huge following, of course. You've been around. I've seen you at so many different events, and of course, Foursquare Gospel Church.
Yes.
You are the outgoing pastor there.
That's right.
Plus, you have a trio, a musical trio that you play with sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally, yeah. We were in the church. We had this pretty large worship team, you know, with a bunch of really talented people. So every now and again, maybe one or two will come with me and do different things, just as like tonight, it's just me.
Well, you know, and I'm glad you brought the guitar, because I got to tell you, this program is a fun place to learn about Foxborough and the people that make Foxborough special. And I'm glad that you've decided to give us a going away concert. You know, it's not going to be quite Simon and Garfunkel at Central Park, but I will say that I'm very much looking forward to this. And so this is a special episode of Foxborough Central. Sit back, grab a coffee, grab someone you love, and let's just have some chatting and some music, all right?
Cool.
What are you going to play for us first?
Well, I've got this song here, which is called Roots to the River, and I've got the cheat notes here with music, because I wrote this song a while ago, but I haven't sung it an awful lot. So what I was going to do was just sing. I did, yes. This one's called Roots to the River. And of course, you know, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor. And Jeremiah 17 talks about either trusting in what you see or we trust in God. And the person that trusts in God can never, ever fail, in a sense. But if you trust in the things around you, then of course, you're going to be a very anxious person. So that's really the theme of the song. And we're actually based in New York right now, and of course, Sandy just happened.
Yes.
We were there in the middle of it. We only lost power for 2 days.
Wow.
But just, you know, this type of thing, this type of scripture just reminds you that you got to keep your focus on God when everything else is crazy around you. So that was very kind of sobering for us and calming, you know, in the middle of it all.
Wow.
So,
Mike Bave, Roots to the River.
all right.
Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose hope is in his God. He'll be like a tree planted by the waters, spreading out his roots to the river. Spreading out his roots to the river. There will be no fear when the heat comes. His leaf will always be green. He will not be anxious when there is drought. His fruit will always yield. His fruit will always yield. Yeah. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose hope is in his God. He'll be like a tree planted by the waters, spreading out his roots to the river. Spreading out his roots to the river, yeah. There will be no fear when the heat comes. His leaf will always be green. He will not be anxious when there is drought. His fruit will always yield. His fruit will always yield, yeah. Cursed is the man who trusts in man, who trusts in flesh for strength, whose heart departs from the Lord. He'll be like a shrub in the desert. He'll be like a shrub in the desert, yeah.
Wow, that's great.
That song is kind of a, obviously it's all scripture, so it makes it easy to write.
Yes.
And, it just is perfect for when you're in a place of intimidation.
Well, how powerful also if you're down in New York during the Hurricane Sandy, and we learned a bit about it here in Foxborough Central. There was a couple of good community leaders, Linda Walsh, one of our selectmen, and Chris Long, who put together a Hurricane Sandy relief effort, and we featured them on one of our episodes. So we learned about the devastation, and there was a very powerful video with Bruce Springsteen's song set to it. This is our talent, and just very powerful there. So you were down there when this hit?
We were down. My wife is from Baldwin in New York on Long Island.
Okay.
So I think the ocean is
And
about.
your wife is Mary?
Mary is from Long Island. And we are staying at her home right now until we move to the UK. And the ocean is about a mile away. It came within about half a mile of the house.
Wow.
And not so far away, people were, their homes were totally devastated. And there are some people still, without power. But we were very thankful. I mean, 2 days we lost power, and then everything was back on again. But it was a very strange experience, and very, there were people lined up for almost a mile just waiting to get gas, and you just realize how fragile we are.
Fragile is exactly the word that I was thinking of, in that we take so many things for granted. Take our people, our friends, our community, our way of life, and then when something traumatic or something with a force beyond what we can control hits, it's humbling.
It really is.
And life is fragile.
Yeah.
Life is fragile.
You realize how dependent we are on the cell phone, on the internet, and all of those things. And of course, everything was down.
And then you get down to basic needs of water, food, heating source. And then there was the nor'easter that came through the week after that. And I'm sure that, you saw firsthand people in some really uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the middle of it, there's these amazing lights, people all rally, and our friends are pastoring a church in Roselle in New Jersey, and we went over there to help them out. They fed thousands of people, from the whole community, and people came over to form teams, and they fed those people, and then they sent them out to Staten Island. It was just great. We went and helped out, cutting up chicken and.
Well, those are the good things. People do step up.
Exactly,
and that's what keeps everybody going, and that's really what's important.
It was very heartwarming, whole thing, in that sense.
Roots of the river.
Yeah.
Nice. So your wife, Mary, she allows you to come out and talk to people like me?
She does. She does. Yeah, she's great. I mean, we've, like I said, been in Foxborough now for 19 years, and we married in the UK back in 1982, so we're an old married couple. And she was in the US Navy, and we met over there and got married and stayed there. So she lived over there for 13 years.
Wow.
And we're about to make the transition
back
ultimately to completely settle.
We'll touch back on that a little bit later in the program, but if you still have your singing voice and you still have your picking fingers, I'd love to hear another song.
All right.
What do you have for us now?
Well, this one is called Only. This is actually one of mine too.
You wrote this one as well.
I did. This one is called Only Your Presence, and it comes from. A lot of these have come from sermons that I've preached, and over the years. And this is based on Moses, who was leading the Israelites in the desert, of course, and he was just being open to what God wanted him to do, and. God was telling him to go in a certain direction, but Moses said, Lord, unless your presence goes with us, please don't send us up from here, because we don't want to go without you. Please do not leave us. And he said, what's the difference between us, your people, and the rest of the world? He said, the only difference is your presence in our lives, so please don't take your presence from us. So that's really the very simple, but
only
the theme
your
of
presence.
this, only your presence.
Very good.
will the world know you're pleased with us? How will they know we're set apart? Only your presence will distinguish us. Only your presence can impart rest for the spirit, joy for the journey, over and overflowing. Rest for the spirit, joy for the journey, over and overflowing. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here, O Lord of hosts. Ooh. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here, O Lord of hosts. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here, O Lord of hosts. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here, O Lord of hosts.
I think in any leadership position, you're always asking for guidance, which is way beyond yourself. And I think every pastor, certainly, or any kind of leader, is always saying, God, please show me the way to go, because none of us have the smarts to be able to lead people, you know. Only really Spirit of God can do that.
But a lot of leadership also is from experience and from
Exactly.
the people you meet and the things you learn along the way.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
coming to Foxborough in 1993. Did you come here along with your wife, married, to lead the Foursquare Church, or did they fall into place later? How did you come here in '93? Because I
Yeah.
came here in 1993. This
Yeah,
is
that's
also when my
interesting.
wife Kathy and I moved here
Yeah.
in July of 1993. So
We came in July of '93 also.
Really?
Yeah, 21st of July.
We beat you by
1993.
2 weeks.
Really? No, we were married in the UK, in Wales, and then we went to Bible college in England, and then from there we went into a denominational church in the UK, in Aldershot, south of London. So we pastored that church for 4 years. Okay. Then during that time, I started to get invitations with music and traveling, and then it just sort of developed, and it just became apparent that we needed to do this for a season. So we traveled then full-time for 3 years.
Really?
Around UK, US, Europe, and just doing music and preaching and in all kinds of amazing places, and
Wow.
you know, from small to really large. That type, you know, it was a great experience. But one of those times we were traveling in New England, and we settled in for about 3 or 4 weeks, going to different churches in the area, Foursquare churches. And the supervisor, we stayed at his home, and he just offered to us. He said, if ever you want to pastor a church here, we'd love to have you. Well, it just wasn't the timing for us. About a year later, I was talking with him on the phone from England, and he said that the Foxboro Church is looking for a pastor. And when it came to, the timing was right.
Sure.
And we just felt, you know what, it just seems like the right thing. And so in July, that's a very simplified version of a much more complicated story, as you can imagine. But because I'm British, of course, so we had to go through all of the paperwork.
Sure,
and
sure.
you know.
But Mary is
an
from
American
here.
citizen.
She's from New York, so.
Yes, yeah. So it's not too difficult.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's a whole nother program. The wandering ministry and musical minstrel, and,
Yes.
and you and your wife then sort of embarked upon this journey together.
We did.
Going to Bible college. Pardon my, I don't know the
Bible
terminology.
college.
Bible
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to find your soulmate who likes doing what you do, and it appears as though.
She's amazing. I mean, really, the things that we.
You say that not only because she can see this now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay,
I had to
all
say
right.
that's very important. Mary is amazing. No, but she really is, because we've done all kinds of different things over the years, and she's just got that same kind of heart and that willingness just to go and do the next thing, wherever it is that we feel that God is calling us to do. Although having said that, we've been here for 19 years, so
Yes.
it's not like we're up and everywhere all the time. But it's been a great adventure, and we've loved Foxborough. It's been a great, amazing place. Yeah.
Foxborough is definitely going to miss you and your wife and your music.
Well, we've loved it. We've loved it. Over the years, some of the things that we've done with the other churches and other ministries and musicians, and some fantastic memories of concerts that we've all done together. We had a season on the Common, I don't know if you remember, but about, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years ago, for about 5 years, we did a united service on the Foxboro
Yes,
Common.
absolutely.
Remember that? And those were some great times. We loved that. And I believe the Christmas concert is coming up at St. Mary's too next week.
That it is.
Yeah.
And of course, depending upon what your people are watching this at home, it'll be coming up this time of year, every year. So right before Christmas.
Right.
It's a mainstay in our community.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's sad that you're going to be leaving us, but later in the program, of course, we'll be talking about what lies in store and what lies ahead for you, Mary, and your family. So, but I don't think people are watching for me to talk. I think they're watching for you to play. So, do you have anything else for us?
Sure, absolutely. With my cheat notes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We over the years, I've been with the worship team in Foxborough in the church, of course. So a lot of these songs are just special. So this is a very selfish night, because these are some of my favorite songs, basically. So
Well,
that's what
you know
I'm
what?
doing.
Foxborough Central is, there's nothing wrong with that. People often accuse me of just going down whatever path I want. You lead the path tonight. It's all about you tonight, Mike.
Sounds good. Well, this one is simply called Unashamed.
You are the life, you are the air I breathe. You are my love, you are my everything. Abandon all for you, devoted I will trust in you. This life is yours, it is for you to use. This love inside can only be for you. Abandon all for you, I'll never turn away. I'm crying out for you, unashamed. You're faithful forever. Amazing love, you rescued me. Amazing love, now I can say you're faithful forever. Recklessly I'll follow you, abandon all I have for you. You are the life, you are the air I breathe. You are my love, you are my everything. Abandon all for you, devoted I will trust in you. This life is yours, it is for you to use. yourself, you're faithful forever. Amazing love, you rescued me. Amazing love, now I can see you're faithful forever. Recklessly I'll follow you, abandon all I have for you.
Wow. You can definitely feel your ministry come out through your music.
Oh, thank you. That's a great song. I wish I'd written that.
Beautiful, though. Beautiful. You play with passion.
Thanks. Yeah, that song is about...
It's one thing to play a song. It's another thing to feel a song. And
Right.
That's beautiful.
Right. It's about abandoning yourself really to God, you know, and just giving it over, and, you know, it's what it's all about.
You mentioned earlier about coming to Foxborough and so many things. I suppose I ask this of everybody who comes to Foxborough and then is leaving, is what are you going to miss the most about us, about our community?
Yeah. Well,
You're going to really miss that columnist in the Foxborough Reporter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Kidding.
That's the word. Yeah, definitely. You're just gonna have to send it over, right? Every
Well, you
week.
can always pick us up at www.foxbororeporter.com. So.
Exactly. No, you know, we came in, you know, this evening, and there's the Nativity on the Common, which is, I'm so glad that still happens.
Foxborough JC's erected that, as they do every year, and that's a long-standing nativity scene that was first started with the Knights of Columbus so many decades ago, and
Yeah.
JC's been doing now for the last 25 years, I believe. So.
And it's one of the nicest in all of the towns. I love it. And then, you know, so when you see that and you remember the big Christmas concert and the camaraderie of the people, and this time of year, you know, we go into the nursing homes and different places, and, you know, I'm definitely going to miss that.
And also so many other things that are truly just Foxborough, our discretionary fund and the distribution, and the fact that the community does have a way to take care of those in need, and just the strong church community as well. I mean, Foxborough is well represented by many faiths, and
Definitely.
You know, the Foursquare being a key piece of who we as a community are. And then you having been such a huge piece of that now so you've been the pastor down there for
19 years.
19 years.
I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really gone so fast. I just can't believe it. Almost 2 decades. And yeah, the decision to leave was a hard decision to
Well, I
make.
understand it's that you have ill family that you're
Yes.
going to be going to.
Yeah. My dad's getting older, and it's been a long time that we've been away. And aside from that, we were in England in April, and Mary and I went to Westminster Abbey, actually. I was brought up in the UK. I've never been to Westminster Abbey. It's typical, you know. Mary had never been to the Statue of Liberty until I came over, because she grew up there and just didn't bother going.
But see, you always wait. That's what I love about it here. There's so much to do, but then again, you don't do it until you have somebody coming into town say, hey, let's go to Salem, to the Witch Museum. I would never go there, but right. Something they love it.
They want to go, go to Plymouth.
It's our excuse to go off and be tourists. So
that's it, exactly. But yeah, we were over there in Westminster Abbey, and there was a very short music service, and I don't know, something stirred in our hearts about England, and then we met with various people, and then of course my family, just all of those things going together over a period of time brought us to this point where it's kind of time.
It's time.
Not an easy decision to make, though.
Well, you'll be missed, of course.
Well, we're going to miss Foxborough, no question about that. Absolutely no question. It's a great town.
Well, for a going away concert, I'm doing way too much talking. What else do you have in your repertoire? And by the way, folks at home, I got to ask you a favor. All right, this is freeform television. For those of you who are fans of Foxborough Central, if you're just turning in the first time, this is a half-hour program. And I'd like to keep it a half hour because, you know, you get some good energy and you get some good conversation, and I keep your attention. But this is a special episode, and I got to tell you, I'm going to move it a little bit longer, so please stay with me. If you need to go get a cup of coffee refill, or you need to tell work that you'll be there in half an hour, please do it now, because I'm fascinated. This is a beautiful, beautiful program, and I really would love to hear some more music. What else do you have for us tonight, Mike?
Well, this is one of mine. This song is, again, probably from one of my messages from a while ago. The song is about the prophet Elisha, and he is basically running from an enemy, and he has a servant, and there's an army after this prophet Elisha, and they get up in the morning thinking that they're safe, and the servant goes outside, and he looks up and he sees the hills surrounded by the enemy army who are out to get just them. And Elisha came out, and the poor man was terrified. And Elisha just prayed over the man, and he said, God, just open his eyes. So the man's eyes, it's as though scales fell from his eyes, it says. And as he was looking up, he could see the enemy, but then he could also see a bigger, more powerful army behind the enemy, which is an angelic host, you know, the warriors of God. And the story really is, it's called Lift Up My Eyes to the Hills. And, you know, we all come up against problems. We all come up against difficulties in life. We don't escape it. But God says, lift your eyes to the hills. That's where your help comes from. And, you know, if you just allow God to take the scales off our eyes, we will be able to see that God is more powerful than any problem that we might have. And that's basically where this song came from. So it's called Lift My Eyes to the Hills.
Surrounding me, taunting and hounding me now. And it's been so long, and they seem so strong. Wonder if I can win, feeling alone again. Why? When I've known God's love, what am I afraid of? Jehovah Jireh provides. He has promised to supply. So I will lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills and grow. I lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills and grow in the Lord. Citywide, they were hammering at my door. Fear, oh my God, what now? Hope is gone, we're surrounded. But don't be afraid, look up, those who are with us will shine. Eyes of faith can see that the Lord, He is mighty. Oh, I will look up to the sky. Hope itself will purify. So I will lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills and grow. Oh, I lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills, lift my eyes to the hills and grow in the Lord. I'll grow in the
Beautiful.
I always
Beautiful.
have fun if I'm out doing that song, obviously it's simple. So in the chorus, people really join in. It can be really pretty powerful, especially if somebody's going through real difficulties. When I see them singing, I lift my eyes to the hills. It just brings up that whole other aspect, a different perspective.
I was thinking as you're playing, can't help but think about your path and the journey that you're going to be going on from here and moving back to the UK. And although it is moving back home in a sense, at the same time, it is something new and significantly different than what you've been doing for the last 2 decades. So a lot of strength to you and Mary, and a lot of luck. I wish you and absolute best as you start the next chapter.
Thank you. Yeah. We're going home for about 4 months initially. And then we'll be coming back to the US in April, and then we'll be doing our formal missions training with our denomination and missionary training. Okay. Then we'll officially be missionaries, and then we go back again, and that's when we go through applying for Mary, to settle again with me. So it's a process.
Wow.
It's quite a process.
So you're not just going to be staying in a little white house with a picket fence?
No.
You're not. You're obviously not retiring.
Definitely not. No, not yet. Not yet.
Wow. So that's going to be a challenge. Scared at all about it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's certainly not comfortable. And yet, there's an excitement about a new challenge. I am really looking forward to being in my own country again, because I always thought, before I die, it would be really a great thing to be able to minister in my own country,
Sure.
And specifically in Wales. And I would love to be able to. We'd like to eventually start a church and plant a new church, and go from there and pastor again.
You seem to be a very well thought out and courageous fellow, so I'm sure if that's what you and Mary want, then that's what's going to happen. So we're excited, but we get nervous too, because we're human, but generally it's a great thing, we're psyched. So you do things for fun. What do you do for fun?
What do we do for fun? We watch movies. We watch movies, and we go, we have a dog, so we do all kinds of stuff with the dog. I like walking a lot, and we're kind of boring people, actually, when you think about it. We do a lot of traveling, and so when we're not doing anything like that, we like to just hang out, and like everybody else, just be with each other and just be ourselves.
So you're moving back home to be with your father.
Yes.
So this is where you grew up, perhaps?
I grew up in a town called Haverfordwest. Would you like to learn some Welsh? There's a Welsh language,
Well, you can teach. Whether I learn it or not, that's going to be a complete... We'll see what happens.
Well, this is my little party piece. If in the Welsh language, which is unrelated to English, there's no relation whatsoever. It's an ancient Celtic language. So if you get a C and an H together, it's pronounced like a like that. Go on, give it a go. You're not going to do this,
okay,
are you?
let me... All right, since you brought it up, my supervisor at work, she is also from Wales.
Is she really?
And she does speak the language to her family on the phone, and I frequently overhear it.
Cool.
I learned from day one that I have no ear for the language. I have no comprehension of even that they're communicating, because I do hear the noises, but I'm at a blithering, oblivious loss to it. So I'm not going to try it. I'm going to spare the folks at home. I'm going to, it is a brave and wise man who acknowledges his weaknesses and his failings. I'm not even willing to do that. I know I'm going to fail at it, and I'm not even going to try.
You're being honest.
Thank you very much. But maybe you want to teach the rest of the folks at home.
Well, the C and the H goes a sound, and then if you get two L's together, it's like a sound. It's from the side of your tongue.
Okay.
So there is a town, and your supervisor, your friend would know this from work. It's the longest name in Europe. It's a town name.
Okay.
And the town name, believe it or not, really is Llanfairpwll Gwyngyll Gorgerin Swindrabo Llantysilio Gogogoch. That's the name of a town. So you need lots of water for that.
You also need a very long envelope if you're going to send a letter there.
You do. And if you pull up on the train station, you can, you're looking out the window, so it's like the name, right? That's how it works. So So the Welsh language is totally different. I grew up speaking English.
Okay.
And I can only speak chip shop Welsh, we call it. You know, I've grown up all of my life hearing Welsh, and I can read it and pronounce it, but I don't speak it fluently because we didn't learn it. Wales is very, because of the history, it's very complicated. You got a pocket of Welsh, a pocket of English, a pocket of Welsh and English, and throughout the centuries, it's basically stayed the same. So I'm from a town called Haverfordwest, which is very English. If you go just 15 miles away to St. David's, then it's all Welsh speaking.
Okay.
And it goes around, it comes back to English again. It's very interesting. But we did learn songs in school in Welsh. So if you'd like me to do a very short little Welsh.
I would love a short little Welsh song.
Short little Welsh song?
This is off program.
Yes. This is off program. If I can remember it, hang on. Okay.
Nid wy'n gofyn bawyd mwy ffils Haira bi na'i bel a'i man Gofyn rwy'n calon hapus Calon hwn is calon lan Calon lan y llawndau omni Teg y chiwn ar lili ddwms Dim ond calon lan a'ch gani Gani dydd a'ch gani nos
It's Calon Lan. It's basically, it's called, it's White Heart. It's basically what it means. And it's a song that's really saying, I'm not asking for riches, I'm not asking for gold. What I'm asking for is a pure and an undivided heart. That's basically what the song is saying.
That's exactly how I felt it. Music is the international language. Well, maybe not, but it was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that song.
You're welcome. That's
ancient, but you know, to us it's new. What's old is new.
It's cool.
What else do you have for us tonight?
Well, let me see. This song is a song. I'm almost embarrassed. You know, I didn't do this on purpose. Most of these are my songs.
Mike, you know,
this is a Christmas song that I did a few years ago at the St. Mary's concert, and I think that's the last time that we did something together.
if you're going to do a farewell to Foxborough, what more appropriate and better way than to share your talent and your soul? So I'm loving that you brought your songs, your music.
That's great. Well, I'm glad. This song is called This We Believe.
A child is born, a son is given to us, and shepherds leave their flocks to find his manger. The Son of God was born amidst the humble. This we believe. There was no room for God among the favored, except an empty stable built for creatures. Yet angels sing and princes bring their treasures. This we believe. That someday every knee will bow and every tongue speak of His majesty and of His beauty. This we believe. That someday every seat of power will bow to His name, the only name through which our hearts can know peace. This we believe. It's good to know that God is here for us, healing us to heal the brokenhearted, bringing life and hope so long departed. This we believe. It's good to know that God so loves the world, offering his peace and true forgiveness. Emmanuel, shalom, the gift of wholeness. This we believe. That someday every knee will bow and every tongue speak of his majesty and of his beauty. This we believe. That someday every seat of power will bow to his name, the only name through which our hearts can know peace. This we believe. Holy, holy are you, Lord. 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 And someday every knee will bow and every tongue speak of your majesty and of your beauty. This we believe. That someday every seat of power will bow to his name, the only name through which our hearts can know peace. This we believe. This we believe. This we believe.
So nice. I do not wish to speak until the last chord has faded off. It's that good.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Of course, I'm here talking with Mike Bave, the pastor these past nearly 2 decades of the Foursquare Gospel Church here in Foxborough, who is moving on to bigger, better, brighter horizons and leaving Foxborough with memories of music. So at the Foursquare Church, is music part of the ministry for all Foursquare churches, or is this a special brand that you've brought and sort of have created here in Foxborough?
Yeah, no, music is a very, very key part of any Foursquare church. There are 40,000 Foursquare churches around the world, but
I did not know that.
Yeah, but there are a number of thousand in the U.S. The U.S. is the mother church, but the kids have become greater than the mother, if you like, throughout the rest of the world.
Sure.
But you'll find a very exuberant style of worship. In the Foursquare Church in Foxborough, there's it's a very contemporary worship band. So you get the bass guitar and the drums and the lead and the vocalists. And there's a new pastor now, the guy that's taken over, and his wife, Justin and Sarah Campbell. a tremendously powerful young couple. He's also a very gifted musician, and he leads the worship with the band, with the team there, and doing a tremendous job. And it's hard to move on from the church, but at the same time, we were very, very happy to be able to pass the baton on to a couple like this.
Well, hopefully when you come back in April to the area, we'll be able to get both you and the Campbells in here, and that would be a great opportunity to do a formal handoff, if you will, here to the community. So,
and we're still a part of the church in the sense, because we're being sent from the church, from the denomination, but the church are kind of our sending church. So we're staying strongly in relationship with the Foxboro Church. So
so the music continues.
Yes,
there's
absolutely.
Others have picked up the guitar and carried on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the church is great days ahead for the church and for the community. And I know that Justin has a real heart, to be in the community and to be about. He's also there's a school in the church building over here in Mechanic Street, so he's also the chaplain to the kids, and so it's a great time and does a lot of music with them. So,
well, hopefully we'll get you and he and others in to introduce to the cable access community.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Do you have one more song for us?
I could do one more song. Sure.
I would love it if you would do one more song for us, and you can play us out. And as a great way of saying goodbye to Foxborough. I cannot think of a better way than to let you have the last word. I'm going to say, Mike, it's been a pleasure meeting you here.
Total pleasure. Thank you. And thank you for this opportunity, because, we have loved our time here. And Foxborough they've been such a major part of our lives. And it's affected us forever. And there's no place like it. We have ministered here for longer than anywhere, obviously. And so I really believe that the things that we've learned here through the town, we're going to take them back with us and hopefully bless others.
That's wonderful to hear, and it's clear that Foxborough is better because of the work that you and your wife have done here.
Well, thank you.
Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the volunteers of the Foxborough Cable Access, thank you for taking the time to watch this very special episode. We've gone a little long, but I hope you'll forgive me. I hope you forgive me. Mike Bave, formerly of the Foursquare Gospel Church, now moving on to adventures perhaps not unknown, but certainly new and exciting. Yeah. On behalf of the folks who are behind the cameras today, Mike Everson, Kevin Hickey, Chris Kelly, Paul Gukin, Gary Nash behind the glass, Mike Weber, our executive director, the man who edits and put this all together. Thank you very much for watching Foxborough Cable Access. Catch us this and every week on these cable channels. Also, you can catch us on Facebook. We are Facebook present. Also log in to www.fcatv.org. And you can watch this episode and other episodes of Foxborough Central. Link us up to your page. It's great television, and we have so much more with the sports, with Foxborough Central, community music. Music is such a huge piece of what we in Foxborough consider to be our community identity. On behalf of everybody at Cable Access, have a great one, Foxborough. Mike, play us out.
Lord, you're so amazing to me. How can I find the words to convey what your love means? I'd give all I have and more. In the times I am weak, you come rescue me through the words that you speak over me. From the depths of my soul, Lord, I want you to know that this life that I live is for you. Every breath, Lord, know that I am. I want my life to bring you glory. Every moment with all that I have, I want my life to bring you glory. convey what your love means. I give all I have and more. In the times I am weak, you come rescue me through the words that you speak over me. From the depths of my soul, Lord, I want you to know that this life that I live is for you. Every breath, Lord, all that I am, I want my life to bring you glory. Every moment with all that I have, I want my life to bring you glory. Forever I surrender. Forever I surrender. Forever I surrender. Forever I surrender. Every breath, Lord, all that I am, I want my life to bring you glory. Every moment with all that I have, I want my life to bring you glory.
Foxborough, have a great day. Take care.